Alright, the next example. This is for Nurse Celeste Richardson. And I saw her at 7201 Happy Hollow Road, Trussville, Alabama. This was known to me as Northside Medical Associates, now Complete Health, owned by Pharaoh's Capital. Now, what's unusual about this visit is, okay, I got 2 different bills with Nurse Celeste Richardson's name on it, and there are also 2 different companies listed on the bill, and I thought this was interesting. So who does she work for? I'm not exactly sure. So, okay, the one here, it is STV Primary Care East, LLC. And this is a different P.O. box, also located in the city of Belfast, Maine, United States. And I had some blood work done that she reviewed. And I got another bill with her name on it, and it is the company listed. It is Northside Medical Associates _ space Pell. All right, and this is attention 20339X. This is also to this P.O. Box 14,000 Belfast, Maine, United States. So I had a bill for blood work. It was $60. And I had a major issue with my visit with Nurse Celeste Richardson. And this was a several-fold issue. So I'll go through what happened to me. When I initially had the medical encounter and the interview with her, I was trying to explain my injury to her. I had pictures that I printed out in my hand from this previous MRI scan that I had done in the same building where she works about 7 months prior. And they show this injury, which is about, it's head trauma, and it's about 3 inches in diameter inside my head. So I'm trying to show her these pictures, and she's sitting in front of me. She's got this computer out that's hooked up to some network. And then I found out she can get copies of these same pictures on her own computer. All right? And she doesn't have to trust me, which I don't think she did. Because I had a real hard time convincing her of my injury. All right? And see, I'm sitting there, and almost every doctor and hospital that I've gone to for like the last year and a half, they were trying to tell me that I had no injury in this location. All right. Disease caused by parasite, questionable. So she didn't believe me, what I was telling her. And on top of this, I was in not very good shape sitting there with her. I had paid her $50 for this visit, and then she was trying to deny my symptoms, and why is this? I went and got my records from her later, and I found that my medical records from her, from Frankie James Crum, and from this facility, Northside Medical Associates, now Complete Health, owned by Pharaoh's Capital Group. My medical records appeared heavily edited. And they edited them in the area that would back up the truth of my injury. And I'll show both Frankie James Crum's record and Nurse Celeste Richardson's record. They both omitted the left area of the inside of my ear. And when I saw Frankie Crum, he looked in my left ear, in my auditory canal, with an instrument and a light. And he told me verbally that he noted infection or swelling. And then in the MRI picture, you can see what was behind this swelling on the inside of my head. And it's very obvious. You don't have to be a doctor to see this either, by the way. So my records were edited, and they do not reflect what the people on the Northside Medical Associate side were seeing. All right, and this is a big problem because my contention is that St. Vincent's East Hospital, Ascension, they had misdiagnosed me, and they were trying to make this misdiagnosis stick. And so they were giving these pronouncements and orders to these ancillary medical institutions like Northside Medical Associates, which apparently they have complied by. All right, so Northside Medical Associates, they referred me to the MRI. I got the MRI injury show up in the MRI. They didn't back me up, the patient, Northside Medical Associates. They backed up their business partners in the lie, in the misdiagnosis. So let this be known. So I sent this bill from this Belfast, Maine post office box address for a $60 payment for the blood work from this visit. So you can see in depth what happened to me on all of these different examples that I'm listing here. It's on my YouTube channel and elsewhere. My medical nightmare. And I've got over 10 hours of video documentation on my injury and the cover-ups and misdiagnosis that I encountered. And this is Affinity Physician Services, and they also use this P.O. Box 14,000 Belfast, Maine. Alright, and this stems from a visit I had at Grandview Neurology, 3686 Grandview Parkway, Suite 600, Birmingham, Alabama. This is located off of Highway 280, Birmingham, Alabama. So I saw Neurologist Kyle Hudgens on June 12th, 2019. Alright, and so this visit, this cost $265. And I had to pay most of this up front, and I was sent this bill later from this Belfast, Maine billing collector. So I went to Dr. Kyle Hudgens. Okay, he basically did nothing for me. Is another doctor I went to, and the whole time I'm trying to explain to him at this point when I went to him, it was getting into the summer 2019. I'd almost died because I had infection that had set up in this wound that I had, possible CSF leak, and the infection was becoming chronic at this point, which led me to him. All right, and this was a massive mistake on my part because Dr. Kyle Hudgens, he took my money and he basically did nothing for me. You can see here in his records what he writes. He said that he believes I had severe neck strain and that I had become anxious and upset to the point that I'm exhibiting aberrant behavior. So he invokes a psychological explanation for my concerns and my symptoms that I espoused to him. All right. However, these were not just the words and opinions that were coming out of my mouth about pain. All right. I brought in all my imagery from my past computed tomography scans, x-rays, and MRIs for him to review, which I believe a doctor of his experience, and he's a multimillionaire also, by the way. I believe that he should be fully capable of seeing physiological issues in these various medical imagery. And I showed him this MRI, for example, and this was done in American Health Imaging, Birmingham, Alabama, on the south side just a few weeks before I saw him. And you can see in this picture what my problem was. I had a pebble-sized piece of bone that broke off from the underside of my skull. Alright? And you can see my brain in this picture, and you can see the hole in my skull. The infection surrounds this piece of bone that broke off. So I had CSF fluid that was leaking out of my skull. That's the fluid between your brain and the inside of your skull. Alright? And this should be well within the purview. Oh yeah, and all the neurology related issues that I was trying to explain to him, and they were basically ignored. This was explained away as aberrant behavior. Alright, so look at this picture. This is not aberrant behavior. Dr. Kyle Hudgens, neurologist, on Highway 280, Birmingham, Alabama, multimillionaire. Alright. But yet I got this bill from this same address in Belfast, Maine, asking me to send them $85.50. Alright, so that's Dr. Kyle Hudgens.